A week no longer. Greatness has arrived. Welcome to the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. I am your host, Joseph, aka Mr. Badbit, and it is here where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation. Of course, you can listen to the show wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube at Bad Big Games. And if you like what you hear, please consider dropping us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and get a chance to win a free PS5 game on us. Or if you really like us, you could drop us $1 over at patreon.com/badbit. So with all that said, and with all that out of the way, the greatest co-host whoever is, whoever will be, Mr. Kyle Stevenson, how are you, sir?
What does all the beans in Kansas mean, Joe? Because that's what you said before it started. What does that mean?
I don't know. I know I was thinking...
Let's get all the beans in Kansas. Let's go.
I don't know what I was thinking there, because I know like it's an old-timey like saying of like some variety of like this is for all the somethings and something. But I totally forgot midway through pressing record, so I just said all the beans in Kansas.
I like that. I don't even think beans are like a Kansas thing.
It's
but
very much not. That's very South American. Even just wrong side of the equator.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. How are you, Joe?
Dude, I'm doing pretty damn swell. I think our conversation before the show really put me in a fantastic mood, and there's so many awesome things to talk about. But how are you doing, dude?
I'm okay. Yeah. Like you mentioned, that talk alleviated some of the weight on my shoulders. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Joe's fine. It's just family shit.
Yeah.
It sucks more than ever now because I haven't left my house since March to see anyone else.
Yeah.
It's just my family.
Yeah. I get those texts like all the time, especially from my best friend. She's like on some type of watch. She's like, I miss you. I want to touch your face. I'm like, okay, I miss you too, but the touching of faces, honestly, even pre-COVID, that was just a no-go. You know what I mean? So like, don't come over here. But Kyle, there's a lot of awesome stuff to talk about to get us super hyped, like Spider-Cat, like a huge info dump on Spider-Man Miles Morales, Burger King and PlayStation teaming up. We got a huge controversial PS4 System update where Sony might be listening to your party chat, ! Put that on the thumbnail, ? But before we get into all of that, Kyle, I haven't been playing anything because we got some surprises coming for Trophy Room folks, for the roomies/hunters next week. I've been working on a lot. But Kyle, you've got some time to play a game called Far Gone that I played at PAX, and it was an amazing little indie game. And you seem like you're completely infatuated. So Kyle, has that been the thing you've been playing?
Yeah, one of a couple different things I've been playing a whole lot. Before I get into Foregone, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but I finished Crash Bandicoot.
Okay.
That game's been beaten, going back to try to gain all the various different gems.
Right, you did tell me last week you beat it. You're not going for the plat, though, right?
I'm not fully giving up on it.
Ooh.
I need to know how to tackle it.
Okay.
But there's that. I restarted Uncharted 4 last night. Not super far. That game is freaking gorgeous.
Yep.
This is the first time playing it on my 4K HDR enabled TV, and oh man, Naughty Dog, yep. Jesus. That is for me to do some cleanup so I can do a stream for that 6-hour and under speedrun trophy for that platinum. Because now I'm only 4 away from making Bug Snacks my 50th platinum. But Foregone is majority of my time since last week. Shout out to Big Blue Bubble for giving us the code over at Kinda NYC. I played it on a PS4. It's also out on every other console. The game is fantastic.
Yeah.
It is a 2D Souls-like Metroidvania-esque type of game.
Okay.
Where as you're going through, you are the arbiter who is trying to save the world from abominations that are made from this scientific thing. That is, if I remember that correctly. Because when it comes to the story, it's not super grabby.
Okay.
Like, I'm not gripped by it at all. But what I am gripped by is the gameplay. The gameplay is so good. So you have loot that drops randomly from different ranges, from like commons all the way up to mythic. And there's, short swords, a falchion, gun chucks,
You're chucking
daggers. No, they're like nunchucks, but they got like guns on them.
That's awesome.
I didn't use them as much as the other ones.
Yeah.
And some spears, and then you also have a secondary attack, which are firearms. So a bow, revolver, shotgun, burst rifle, and I think that's it.
What type of art style are we talking about here? Because I love the weaponry.
Pixel art.
Pixel art. Because
It's pixel art.
I
yeah.
remember not to say it's one for one by all means, but like at PAX East when I was playing it, it was giving me a bit of Dead Cells vibes. It's way
Absolutely.
cleaner and vibrant than that of Dead Cells, but definitely gave me that 2D like vibe from them.
It's like I guess it's definitely pixel art,
Yeah.
but it's like painterly
Okay.
pixel art.
Okay.
Like that's the best that I can describe it as.
All right.
But yeah, you're going through and you can shoot with triangle for your secondary, your range attack with the guns or the bow, whatever you have. And in order to replenish ammo, you just have to attack melee, and it refills that. So you don't have to worry about picking up ammo, which I love.
And it also teaches you, just like that mechanic alone, it makes it so that you have to take risks in combat when you're going in. You can't just be safe and be range. You also have to go in and go for those quick attacks. And is there a
Absolutely.
dodge? I remember there was being a dodge.
Yeah, there is a dodge. You're just kind of like sliding out of the way.
Ooh, that's good.
Or it's not like a roller or anything. It's literally just a
strafe?
slide.
Okay.
Yeah, so like there's plenty of times where I'm up close and the enemy like flashes to show it's about to attack, and you slide to the other side, you keep going, and you slide back and forth. It feels so good.
Yeah.
The bosses are great. I love their art style on them. Each of them have their own kind of attacks. Where it does feel a little off is it does feel very generic, meaning like the menus are very
The systems,
not like.
right? Like,
Yeah, even the way that the weapons look, like there are different levels to each weapon, but the icon is pretty much the same except for like some color swapping.
okay.
So like it's very generic that way, but where it doesn't for sure is the gameplay, and it has a new game plus. It has plenty of secrets, which is like the Metroidvania type stuff, because you do upgrade abilities along your way, and you can what's the word I'm looking for? Spec out, pick your loadout of up to 2 abilities, and you can interchange them back at base. Oh, that's the other thing. If you die, you don't lose all your gold and your essence, which you use to upgrade abilities and skills. It just stays where you die. So it's like the souls type of thing.
Ooh,
So then you can either
Head.
choose you want to go to, and I forgot the character's name in the main hub, and collect only half of that if you don't think you're going to make it back, or take the risk to go hit it open and collect it all and then get everything back. But then you have to make it back to the outpost in order to use it all.
That's really cool. So like if you don't, because I know one thing in like Bloodborne, right? Like when you reach millions of souls in that game, right? Like when you die, it's like, oh God, oh no. It's that instant dread. Or Blood Echoes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My Bloodborne
I know what you
license
meant.
was gonna get revoked there. But but like now with that going, okay, I may is that risk actually worth it? Do I actually want to go over there, or can I just take the safe bet and take my half punishment? Sounds a little bit more forgiving for a Souls Light.
It is a little bit more forgiving, but here comes my other con to it.
Uh-oh. Okay.
You get a ton of gold, which is great. There's no issue with having gold in order to upgrade your skills and abilities. No issue there. Or excuse me, just the weapons. Gold is just for weapons. When it comes to an issue is the essence, the ability essence that you use to upgrade those abilities and skills.
Sure.
It's just too few in order to collect them.
Okay.
Like you would expect to take out a boss, you would expect like a bunch of it, right? Like that's a major accomplishment.
Right.
You only get around 50 essence points. And where skills take up to 800 at times to upgrade to the later stages, because each skill has a different buff that is multi-leveled. So basically, at the end of the day, I am the first person in the world to platinum this game. By the way,
ooh, look at that!
What up? What up? And in order to do that, I had to grind out through New Game Plus 3.5 times in order to get all the ability essence. In order to only upgrade up to the last 2 I had left. And then what I ended up doing was going to my skill tree and refunding all the ability points there and then putting them into that just for that trophy.
I gotcha.
So it's if I didn't do that, I would probably have to play it another full New Game Plus through. So it's not a whole lot of the essence that you get, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it feels so good to play. And you feel like such a badass at New Game Plus.
Yeah. Do you recommend it? How much is it?
Everybody. I believe it's 30.
Okay.
I'll look it up. It's definitely, I think, on Game Pass on Xbox.
Ugh, get out of here with that.
I'm sorry.
This is a
I could be wrong with that
PlayStation
too. I don't know. 20. Nope, that's on the Epic Game Store.
It's okay. It's okay. No stress. No stress.
I believe it's $30.
At that price, is it worth it to you? Is it a little steep?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. It ran flawlessly. A couple of frame rate stuff here and there, but like if you're into a game that feels fun to play and it's gorgeous, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. It's the perfect game to hold you over until PS5.
All right. Well, dude, you got me in. You got Souls-like. You got dodges, which is more like straight.
Especially as someone that loves Dead Cells like you do.
God, I do so much.
I think you have to play this game.
I'll be honest. I forgot to reach out to them for a code, and I feel bad. But now I want it, and so I'm going to go buy it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Absolutely.
You took my money. With that, Kyle, again, I haven't been playing much. I can't wait, though, till all the craziness is over, because this Friday, you and I are going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer, hopefully, God willing, on Friday at 1 p.m. EST time. Kyle and I will be doing some co-op multiplayer, some story missions together. And yeah, man, I'm so pumped. And we'll be streaming that, by the way, over at twitch.tv/PS Trophy Room. So come hang out with us on Friday at 1 p.m. EST time. With that, Kyle, before we square up the news, before we do any of that, I want to give a huge shout out to our patrons over at patreon.com/badbit. Of course, like every week, we always say, if we've ever got you through a long car ride, a tough day at work, the whole quarantine situation, whatever the case may be, it really does mean a lot if you could go over to patreon.com/badbit, toss $1 our way, just like our new patrons. Our first new gold patron, too soon, Jason Von Metal and Nicholas from the Gaming Perspective podcast. Thank you all so very much for your patronage. Our platinum members, Jason. Jesus, what's wrong with me tonight? I don't know. Why was I about to call Trevor Starkey, friend of the show, guest of the show, Jason? What is wrong? You know what it is? I looked at Jadis Von Metal for just a split second, and I don't know why. And then my dum-dum eyes. That's what it is.
Do you know what I love real quick before we thank these beautiful people for giving their money for Patreon?
Sure.
I love that this doc is a product of pre-pandemic, pre-quarantine.
Yeah.
Here are the top patrons of the month of March.
Oh, shit.
That hasn't changed since March.
You're totally right. You know what? Let's fix that up right now. What month are we in?
October, I think. Or you know what? It's still March.
With 2 B's. Let me print that. October. There you go. Yeah. Bam. Fixed. Our platinum member, Trevor Starkey from That Nerdy site. Go check him out. He's amazing. Thank you all so much. Todd Borowitz, thank you as always. Our gold members, Chaotic Monkey, Gavin Gottfried, Griffin West, Erica Scherer, Jose Jimenez. Our silver plus members, Pink Orkbot, Marcus O'Neill, Ray Martinez, JB the Purple Monkey himself, Tim Ulf, and the Winter Gamer. Thank you all so much for your patronage. Next week, I won't be that scatterbrained because all the new and amazing things that are hitting this podcast are going to finally be happening, and it's really awesome. So again, thank you all so much. In less than a week, we could finally tell you what has only been able to be accomplished because of your patronage. So thank you all so very much. And with that,
we got that platinum. We're ready to share it out to the world.
Oh my God.
We're real close.
It looks real good. It just, everything looks so amazing. Kyle, it's time, though, to square up the news, sir.
Honestly, I just would speak about this first news story.
Yeah.
All episode.
Okay.
Because I find it fascinating.
It really
Adam
is.
Bankhurst, friend of the show from IGN, writes, Burger King and PlayStation team up to give fans a chance to win a PS5. Burger King took to Twitter and shared a video featuring the Burger King opening up a big bag that shines a blue light in his mascoty face. In addition to the light, we hear a sound that was also featured in the PlayStation 5 reveal event with the UI tease, and maybe the sound we will hear as we turn on Sony's next-gen console. According to the official Burger King website, the Burger King and PlayStation announcement is for a BK Scratch to Win promotion that will begin on October 15th, 2020 at 9 a.m. Eastern, and will give customers a chance to win a PS5, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Demon's Souls, and or a 3-month PlayStation Now subscription. There are 3 ways to participate. 1. Make a $5 minimum purchase on the Burger King app or website. 2. Make a $5 minimum purchase at a Burger King. Or 3, mail in an entry without a purchase. There will be 1,000 PS5s, 2,000 copies of Sackboy: Big Adventure and Demon's Souls, and 1,000 3-month subscriptions for PlayStation Now. Customers can also win food and drink items from Burger King. The promotion will end on November 22nd, 2020.
This is kind of like McDonald's Monopoly.
Yeah.
But it's like not corrupt or run by the mob, which
No.
you should check out that documentary.
I told you about that one. You watched it, by the way? Oh my god,
crazy.
McMillions. Watch it.
McMillions.
It's nuts.
So with that, PlayStation has decided to make its own McMillions with Burger King. This tweet took the internet by storm because everyone thought, because at the end of it, it says 10:15. Everybody thought, and the sound of the glow, everybody thought that we were going to see the UI being revealed by Burger King. So
Also,
yes.
everyone thought, this is just me, conspiracy hat Kyle here.
Yep.
Everyone was like, oh, is that the startup sound? We've never heard that before. Wow. So it was in the showcase in June.
Yeah.
I believe we pointed it out on our live reacts
Yeah.
of like, hey, oh, is that the sound?
I remember
Like, we've
you
heard it
freaking out
before.
about it. Yeah, when I saw that, I was just like, guys, what's going on?
Did we,
What
are we
freaking
that bereft? Ooh, there's your word of the day. I don't know if I used it correctly. Bereft of
Adam
news.
Leonard?
Did I use it right,
you do
Adam?
it?
Please yell at me on Twitter. I would wear it like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Are we that out of news stories that we're just from PlayStation when it comes to the UI? That, oh my god, there's a soundbite. It's what do we know about the UI from this soundbite?
Yeah.
It's the UI have lettuce and tomato and pickle in it. Like it's Burger King.
Yeah.
Does it come with a side of fries? I don't know.
Is the PlayStation 5 grilled or charcoal, whatever? You know what I mean? Like
Does it have onion rings? Is that an option?
fresh or frozen?
Chicken fries.
Oh my
Why are they a thing?
Because they're delicious, Kyle. Real talk. Here's what I was going to do for the show. I literally was thinking about going over to Burger King and getting a Hershey pie, the Hershey Sundae pie, because that's literally the best thing on that whole menu, bar none. Look at me. Look at this weight. It has a lot to do about those Hershey pies. And then getting a crown. But my friend told me they don't do the crowns anymore because of COVID.
My Burger King has a crown.
So is my buddy lying? Because I was just like, yet again, this is another thing COVID-19 has taken from me, is the fun little crowns. And I was going to eat it. I was going to pull a Sean Capri, and you're reading the whole thing and I'm just stuffing my face. But I was just like, do I really want to risk it for the biscuit? Get the Rona because of a skit? Kyle.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Maybe from now until November 22nd.
Uh-huh.
Either one of us, because we shouldn't be eating it or going to Burger King on a weekly basis. But buying a drink enough to total over $5, and then we scratch that scratch off thing on the show. Just to see if we win.
Listen, if Burger King sponsored the show, sure. But
that's fair.
The doctors say my blood pressure is getting way too high already, so I don't want to risk it for it,
I get it.
Hide Indoors via Discord asks this question. As someone who has 2 different Burger King locations 5 minutes away from work and wouldn't mind getting a free PS5, what should my lunch order be and why is it the original chicken sandwich?
I've never had the chicken sandwich, so I don't know. I only, and here's, well, you'll learn about my food habits, everybody.
Okay.
I am one of the pickiest eaters in the world. So when I go to fast food places, I get a Whopper, in this case, with cheese, plain. I want nothing else on it. Just the cheese and meat. If it even smells like ketchup, I'm throwing it out. Or I'm going back in and I am complaining. I am that person.
Yeah.
I am that crazy about, like, condiments and stuff because I hate them.
Dude, see, and that's the thing. When I first learned about that from you, I was shocked because I love a good condiment. Like, the ketchup is my jam. I put that on my cereal. I don't care. You know?
Oh.
All right, a little step too far. Maybe my oatmeal. But even worse.
Yeah.
No, I would do, what do I normally do? Either a number 1 or a number 2 with onion rings. Give me that Hershey sundae by any means necessary with cheese. I don't like it. Just should come standard at this point. Cheese should come on the
If you don't want
sandwich.
the cheese, you say no cheese.
Yeah, it shouldn't be. Don't cut costs with me, Burger King. Okay.
This has become the Burger King grievances episode.
Yeah.
Because when they send those mailers of, like, Burger King coupons,
Yeah.
and they're like, get 2 Whoppers for whatever it is, and then in the fine print it says, cheese will void the coupon. It has to be a Whopper with no.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Don't do that to me.
Is this the Doritos thing with the community now? They're gonna yell at us like, "Hey, I like hamburgers. Cheeseburgers suck." What are you talking about?
Kyle, isn't this a weird thing though? Like, why do you think companies do this? I know why, but like we had a few weeks back, Xbox, just to bring it back to PlayStation and not subpar fast food. Like Xbox has Taco Bell, PlayStation has Burger King. Why do these companies go out and do these weird lucrative deals with weird restaurant chains? With, like, let's be honest, the Burger King mascot should have been killed a while back. Like, that is the creepiest son of a gun I've ever seen in my life. So
him and the snow cone guy from Jack in the Box.
Yeah. Oh my God, yes.
They need to go. And Ronald McDonald, if we're talking real fast.
If we're getting real, like, remember when, like,
send him to Rikers. He shouldn't be.
He's
around
sitting
here.
on the bench. Remember those statues?
Yes.
It's like, get that weird clown away from me. His face is
Not
chipping
today,
off.
Zane.
Yeah. But why do they do such weird deals?
I mean, it is a cash grab if I've ever seen one, and it works. Same reason why McDonald's did the Monopoly thing. Because everyone was then going to Monopoly to play this game and to win cool prizes. And it's weird now seeing, because I'm trying to think back to the previous generation with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Didn't they both have Taco Bell stuff throughout that entire generation?
Yeah.
And Taco Bell's like switching back and forth. So it's a little bit weird that now PlayStation's going completely different to a completely different place. And it's also, the barrier of entry isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, like Taco Bell, you buy a drink, medium or large drink, and that's all you need for Xbox Series X. And this one's only $5 at Burger King.
Yeah. I mean, it just goes to show you how popular the PlayStation 5 is, because they're like, give us $5, and Xbox is like, just buy our cup.
Well, $5 for the PS5, Joe. Come
on. $5, little man. Put that PlayStation in my hand. Kyle, my thing here, in my, like, so the reason why they do this, anybody wondering, it is purely marketing, is purely PR, it is purely like cross pollinating with each other's audience, if that makes any sense. So like Burger King usually has, or reason why McDonald's has the little toys.
It's weird hearing you say that fast food has an audience.
I know. It's really weird. It's called
It's
Americans.
really sad, but it's true.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the toys. Like, people go there for, like, you know, McDonald's has, I don't know, Legos.
Back in the day, when they had the Beanie Babies that you can get from McDonald's, that was a...
Dude.
You had to go and get them all. Yeah. Or even the Pokemon cards from Burger King.
Right.
Where they had, like, the gold ones.
Oh, God, yes. The
like that was a huge thing, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they do it, to get people into the store. It also helps PlayStation to get more ads out there for them without having to dish out so much cash for it. So really, that's the reason why this happens. Burger King was not going to show off the UI. They were not hinting at UI whatsoever. But Kyle, when are we getting UI?
Oh man, I don't know.
Has to be next week. We keep on saying it has to be next week, and it keeps on getting pushed back.
What was okay? Last episode we said it could be this week for UI, but what happened this week? It was backwards compatibility.
Well, that's the next story on the list.
So what I'm saying is, next week. What is the next reveal? Is it the UI next week?
And then Demon Souls. More. They're
doing
Demon
every
Souls?
week.
I don't know.
I still find it weird. We haven't heard of a state of play leading up into PS5 because, like I said last week, Destruction All Stars and Sackboy deserve a little bit of time to shine. Yeah, especially as a launch lineup game.
Yeah. I still have no idea what the gameplay looks like for Destruction All Stars. I need to see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. With that, Kyle, let's talk about the next story on the list here, which is the big one that really the day after our podcast launched last week. PlayStation, the day after.
The day after. Tom Warren from The Verge writes, Sony reveals PS5 will play most PS4 games, but some may exhibit errors. Sony is detailing its PS5 backwards compatibility support for playing older PS4 games today. The next-gen PS5 will support more than 4,000 PS4 games on the new PS5 console. A number Sony says is the, quote, overwhelming majority.
There you go.
End quote.
Got it.
While most PS4 games will play, Sony does warn that, quote, some PS4 games may exhibit errors or unexpected behavior when played on PS5 consoles, end quote. Some functions in PS4 games may also not be available on the PS5. Mm-hmm. It's not clear which games will be affected by errors or functionality issues, but Sony does list 10 existing PS4 games that won't run on the PS5 at all. And those 10 are DWVR, Afro Samurai 2, Revenge of Kuma, Volume 1, TT Isle of Man, Ride on the Edge 2, Just Deal With It, Shadow Complex Remastered, Robinson the Journey, We Sing, Hitman Go Definitive Edition, Shadwen, and Joe's Diner. There are also some general PS5 backwards compatibility limitations for PS4 games. The share menu cannot be displayed within PS4 games running on the PS5, and screenshots will need to be generated using the Create button on a DualSense controller. A tournaments feature from the PS4 is also not compatible with the PS5, nor is in-game live or second screen apps and game companion apps. Sony says select PS4 games will also work with the PS5's Game Boost feature that will make older PS4 games run at higher frame rates. Sony has not provided a list of games that will support this feature just yet, though. So,
Kyle, let's stop right there, because there's a lot of stuff right then and there.
A lot of stuff.
This is huge news. Obviously, though, every game, apparently, for the most part, theoretically, should work except for those 10 games. And just like one of those games, we can just deal with it. Kyle, what are your thoughts on this news, man? Because this is pretty huge. We kept on doing speculation. We started from PlayStation supposedly having PS1, PS2, PS3 to now just being PS4. Are you happy with this news?
Oh my God, I am ecstatic over this because I really thought it might have been a month or two ago we were saying how it might only be like hundreds of PS4 games. But the fact that it's most of them, except for these 10, and let's be honest, the only one that is like, I would say only 2 that are games that are really bummer is Hitman Go. Right. And I've heard Shadow Complex is pretty good, but like, the other ones, I'm never going to play ever. And I played Robinson the Journey. It's not great, so don't even bother about it.
Damn.
I think this is absolutely fantastic. And it brings up another question in my mind, is do I need my PS4 Pro anymore?
And I think it's just, for me, it's a hard no. Like, I am probably, because it's, on death's door, probably gonna just trade it in.
Yeah, right.
I know it's a Spider-Man edition. I love it. I'm just keeping the controller, and I'm just gonna throw it in the trash. No, I'm gonna give it to GameStop. It'll be their problem. But that's why you never buy pre-owned systems, kids, because people like me will ruin your fucking experience. Yeah. And I don't have any regrets. Capitalism. So. I for me, I don't feel a need to go out there buy or keep my PlayStation 4 or my 4 Pro because every game should. Now, it's theoretical. So, like, I don't know if really ever, like, again, like in the beginning of this article, you may experience errors. But I think for the vast majority of games out there, it's working perfectly fine. Especially games that are like, those PlayStation Plus collection games. I'm assuming those games are going to have that boost mode enabled. I'm assuming all your PlayStation first party games are going to work perfectly fine. So for me, this is I think the breath behind the PlayStation sales, what it needed to really push through the biggest question for this console of what can it do for me? And I think boost mode, hopefully we get to see it really in action. And I would love a game like Bloodborne, like how much of a fanboy I gotta say in every episode, but I would love for Bloodborne to be shown off, because that is a game where once you hit Old Yarnum, your fans are just blaring. Like it is a power hungry level. So to see those type of games and how the power of the PlayStation 5 boosts those games, that frame rate, that's awesome for me. I want to know which games have. That's my only question, is which games have the boost mode. What game would you like to see you go back to having that boost mode?
Oh man, probably one of the earlier ones, to be honest, like Infamous Second Son, or even Killzone Shadowfall. I think would look cool with kind of like a boost thing, just to see how far they've come from the launch of PS4 onto a PS5.
Do you think?
I feel like, but like you said, I feel like most first party stuff is going to have that boost mode thing. I think even Sucker Punch was like, oh, can't you just wait until you see Ghost running on a PS5?
Yeah, and Ghost was just like, your load times are going to be even faster, and even the game's going to run at 60 FPS, which is fantastic. So you see that most of the popular games are going to be getting this. We can assume Last of Us, they're just gonna gonna probably show that off in 60.
Horizon, it's no brainer.
How in depth will boost mode go for PlayStation games? Are we just seeing a boost in frame rate? Do you think we're going to also see, Ghost of Tsushima is also native 4K now? What do you think? Is it just a frame rate thing, or smoothing out of some textures?
I feel like that's probably what they mean by boost mode. Yeah, I can't imagine the loading thing will be standard, I think, across everything,
right?
Because that is just how the PS5 runs. So yeah, I don't know what else boost mode could offer other than just make it run smoother.
Because I know for the most part, I think it's like any game on Xbox, right? Will boost it to whatever FPS that game's capable of doing or handling. And I think even upscale certain games to 4K and whatnot. I would just, for me, I'm not saying we need, built-in ray tracing in every single backwards compatible game. As much as that's a cool feature to have, I'm not really thinking of that. For me, I think the biggest thing I would like to see is, hey, how about we just deal with texture pop-in? If you just get rid of texture pop-in in a video game, I am so much more immersed in that game experience than ever. So if you just eliminate pop-in, I'm so happy with that. So for me, I think it's frame rate, loading, and poppin'. But this is such awesome news at the end of the day that we're getting it, and it's so expansive. Because for me, I really do think, PlayStation 4 was the system to have the backwards compatible. I'm not depressed that we're not getting PS3, PS1. These are the games that I want to, hopefully, for the most part, some of them stick with me as I play through the years. Your games like Fortnite, Warzone, that's kind of what I want to see carry forward, and looks like that's going to be the case. Kyle,
do any of the other things that came out in this bother you? Like not being able to screenshot in-game stuff?
Oh, no, not really.
Right?
Yeah.
No, same.
Yeah, I understand the limitations. Again, I think a lot of people came out positive for this, but if you wanted to be like the Xbox attack dog and go, oh, look at what Xbox has done, that's really great. But I think for so many of us in this community, we really just want to be able to play the game and experience it, and that's pretty much where we're where it falls. I don't know when it comes to the share buttons or whatnot. It says the menu won't pop up. I don't know if that means just nothing. Like you can't just do the commands of like hold share and it record or hold share, you know, and take a picture. So I want to see. I mean, it would be a little like a bummer if a game like Ghost of Tsushima doesn't have that because it's so beautiful. But for the most part, yeah, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to give. How about you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I assume the create button is going to be the same thing, probably just a little bit quicker and not take you out with that little sidebar of choosing what you want, the video clip, you want the screenshot. Like it slows it down tremendously when that pops up. And the other stuff like second screen apps and game companion apps, I don't even remember a game that I ever used that with.
Remember Smart Glass? That was an Xbox 360 thing. Where that like was. Battlefield, I think 4, it was like be the commander, and it's just like you're on your iPad. Yeah. It's the worst.
Didn't Watch Dogs have something?
Probably.
Like where like it had the map on the. I don't remember.
Ooh, I think so. Something weird. Yeah. But yeah,
it's one of those gimmicky things. Just stay in the past. We don't. Yeah, it's enough.
Please, no more like second screen experiences. For the love of God, just give me a standard PlayStation app. I'm fine. Unify all that, you know. Kyle, the next story on the list answers a lot of questions as well. That's your cue, buddy.
I lost it.
Oh, you lost it?
I lost it. I was scrolling to see something. Okay.
All right, got it.
Jordan Alleman from IGN writes, PS5's fan is why the console is so big, says Sony engineer. A Sony engineer has revealed that the size of the PS5's cooling fan is responsible for the console's large stature. The explanation comes via an article from Japan's Nikkei X-Tech, which features an interview with PS5 mechanical and thermal design engineer Yasuhiro Otori. PlayStation fans will know Otori from the recent PS5 disassembly video, which are bad, everybody. We talked last week about not understanding what he was saying, and Trevor Starkey, Platinum Patron, was like, hey, idiot Kyle, not in those words, but like, just hit the subtitle button on YouTube. It was like, oh shit. Yeah. Duh. real big dum dum.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I watched it on IGN with subtitles, but it's cool. You got the gist of it. Don't worry.
No, yeah. I was just like, oh my god, thanks, Trevor. I appreciate you.
Remember all the beans in Kansas or whatever I said.
All the beans in Kansas. The 45mm fan ensures air is sucked in from both sides of the console to cool both the main board, known as the A side and B side. According to Otori, even though the B-side does not have the main system on a chip installed on it, it will still generate heat similar to that generated by the PS4 system on a chip, and so needs airflow to stay cool. The PS5 is equipped with a 120mm diameter, 45mm thick, double-sided intake fan, which makes the console thicker than the both PS4 and PS4 Pro. When Sony first published its PS5 teardown video, it was clear that Sony is focusing on keeping the PS5 cool and quiet. However, this information for Otori clarifies that the airflow needed for both sides of the main board is the key factor in that thick fan and thicker console design.
So, all those things, cool, answers my question. Like, it's a big boy. We've talked about it, the console wars, we've renamed it. It's, Xbox is now Team Chonky Boy. Team PlayStation is now Team Big Boy. It's a big boy. That being said, though, I don't care if it's a big boy because these chips are going to be running super hot. So whatever way you can dissipate that heat, so be it. And I watched a terrific video by Digital Foundry this morning. Please give them some love. Tweet out to them of their great, amazing work because, they kind of been venting recently of just like, it's so toxic on social media with so many people yelling at us over just stating facts that it gets a little awful for them. So please reach out to them, send them some love, tell them the trophy room sent you. That, they talked about this thing dissipating heat, and I think the one thing I want to echo from last week is it really does seem like PlayStation has been like, hey, all the problems that you had with your PlayStation 4, we are tackling it. When it comes to cooling, we literally put a Terminator 2 in here. It's good. That liquid metal is going to dissipate that heat. That huge heat sink, which is one of the causes of why it's so huge, is really meant to dissipate heat. They want this thing to be silent. When it comes to even Wi-Fi, they put Wi-Fi 6 in it, which really helps to booster signal within that card. So like when you have different devices in your home, there's a lot of interference. The Wi-Fi 6 dissipates that interference, so you get a better signal. All those things inside that machine is really answering the question of, what do we want from a PS5? Well, we think what you want is a console that is powerful, but what you really want is you to forget it exists. And for those little conveniences or inconveniences with the PlayStation 4, of it like sounding like a jet engine taking off. Like I think Jadis in the Discord was just like, can't wait 3 weeks for like till I could upgrade. And it just his PlayStation 4 sounds like a jet engine from across the room. So
yeah,
to me, it's really addressing those situations. What do you take about this being such a big boy? Is this a good explanation for you, Kyle?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they've heard it for many years now of how loud the PS4 fan is.
Yeah.
And how even the Pro is struggling to run like God of War and Spider-Man and Days Gone. And even for me, weirdly enough, NBA 2K, when I would go into a menu, that's when the fan went bonkers.
Well, it's got to program all that sweat.
Yeah, all the stats and whatnot. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think it's smart. I think that makes sense as to why it's so big, because that was one of the biggest issues that they needed to fix for this next generation. And
Digital Foundry showed a really awesome thing, which I didn't see in that video. Not to say I didn't see, but maybe my ADD kicked in. I was just looked at a pretty like picture or looked at Twitter for a second. There's actually a little like not just the dust catcher, which is pretty cool for the fan, which makes it easy for you to clean, but there's also little like pockets within the machine. They talk about it here in the article. The A side and B side, it's meant for you to just like, hey, if you need to like vacuum it, like so many of us have done, no matter what console, it's just designated there for a safe space for you to vacuum the dust out of your console, which is really, really awesome to have as well. So
yeah,
all this sounds really cool, but Jedi Master Ren via Patreon writes this question. Regarding the teardown, what do y'all think of the infamous screw to secure the base when the console is upright? I, for one, find it very useful, but it seems others in the industry are having a field day with Sony because of this design choice. We talked a little about it, about the stand a week ago, but what is your thoughts 7 days out? What are your thoughts on that stand?
I love that it's actually being included with the system.
Yes.
Because PS4 and PS3, you didn't need it because that was a chunky boy.
Yeah.
Where the side of it was so thick, you didn't need a stand.
Yeah.
It was easy. So I like that it's included. It's not an extra cost in order for you to lay it down horizontally.
Yeah.
Or vertically. Like I think it's great that it's included. It's not a big deal for me.
Right.
Like I've put furniture together. You know, I'm trying my best to be an adult over here.
Yeah.
I think I can handle a one screw little switch.
I would like to say that I built a IKEA little dresser drawer the other day.
Hey, nice.
And what I mean was I got halfway there. I kind of broke a little bit of something. And then my dad had to do the rest because I'm not a real man.
Hey, I get it. Listen, it took me all friggin' day to make those glass cabinets behind me. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm just like, God damn it. And like, I was doing it all right, but then I think one of the pages was torn because I didn't see this one. Like, I just missed one thing and just screwed up everything. So, God damn you, IKEA. And the name of the drawer that I cannot pronounce. The Woodruff. Nope. Like, I hate you. Yeah, no, my question for you, like, I don't mind. And this is not an original thought from me, but straight from Digital Foundry. Like, they liked it because straight up, this is all about it's standing up because they want to promote that airflow. So my question to you, Kyle, are you going to be team horizontal or are you team tall? Vertical.
If I mean, as of right now, I have to be horizontal. There is no way I can have it vertically on my TV stand because my TV is the length of my stand.
Fair.
So if I had it standing up, it'd be one thing if I got the digital only version where I can put it like behind my TV and not have to worry about inputting disc or whatnot. Yeah. But I'm physical till I die. Like I need access to the drive.
Yeah.
So it's going to be horizontal unless I can afford a TV stand
All right.
beforehand.
I think I'm gonna. I can do either way. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do horizontal underneath, and then I think my Series X is gonna be the tall boy that stands, because that's actually the console that I'm gonna have the hardest time finding space for. It's really chonky, but I love it. I dig it. Dig the design. So like that's what I'm thinking. One of them has to stand vertically, so it's chonky boy, but big boy will be horizontal.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. With that, Kyle, listen. This topic's a good one. Shout out to Game Informer. They have all the scoops. There'll be more as the weeks go on, but this one is a tag team from Game Informer and Shinobi. Kyle, please take it away.
This is all about Spider-Man Miles Morales. Just some new details that we've learned about this game. So, it has a PS5 performance mode, dynamic 4K 60 frames per second, or a PS5 fidelity mode, 4K at 30 frames per second, ray tracing, and other improved visuals. There are no load screens, even when fast traveling. Very impressed with the ray tracing. Heavy emphasis on Miles' story. He's the only playable character, except from Miles' phone without going... Oh, what?
Oh, sorry. Miles' phone. So for menus, you're on his phone. That was a weird Twitter thing. Yeah.
Thank you. That's my bad. So yeah, Miles' phone, that's where the menu stuff is. Improved dynamic camera placement during combat. Unannounced villains will be in the game.
Ooh.
Quote, friendly neighborhood spider app. Players can use the touchpad to quickly pick activities, crimes, etc. from Miles' phone without going into a separate menu. And then improved dynamic camera placement during combat.
They've showed so many videos. The game looks absolutely breathtaking. But
that little quick gif of Peter and Miles swinging together, oh man, that gave me all the feels.
The Rhino fight. Oh my goodness! It looks like it's the first.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, spoilers! Jon Snow dies season 7, but yeah, that. Oh my god, looks fantastic. But the real thing that makes this my most hyped, and I think everybody's most hyped, and all of a sudden we're talking about this game being a Game of the Year contender, is Spider-Cat. Kyle, have you seen Spider-Cat?
I have seen Spider-Cat. So it is a costume where it's just Miles wearing a backpack and there's Spider-Cat in it. And it's not just like an aesthetic thing. Apparently the cat comes out and helps during combat.
So, okay. So, yeah, it's literally Miles in like a hoodie and sweats and then like a Spider-Man mask with a backpack, and his finishers and like hanging out is this little cat, which you find during a mission. And he has half a Spider-Man mask on because he's so cute. And like during takedowns, the cat will pop out of the backpack and like claw their face a little bit. Absolutely amazing. I loved it. There's so many other suits that they teased as well. Like there was like a cool looking cyberpunk one. The
S that we all drew in middle school.
Yep.
On the sleeve. Oh man, I'm sure that is a reference to a comic suit. I know a lot of people or I think it was Miles Morales, Spider-Man 20 something.
Okay,
is the comic title. I could be completely 2099, I think, but like it still looked dope.
Yeah, even
without me knowing what it's from, it looked awesome.
Yeah, it looks absolutely amazing. Tracksuit as well looks fantastic. Famous Seamus writes in, and he's the most famous Seamus I've ever met in my entire life. You can write that down. You can look it up. Put it in a thesaurus. I don't even know what they're for, but put it down in there because it's a fact. Famous Seamus writes in, what's the one thing you're most excited for in Spider-Man Miles Morales? Is it Spider-Cat? Is it the eventual Spider-Verse suit? What is it that has you so pumped? And where, just a little addition too, where is this game for you in your hype meter? Because we got Cyberpunk, we got AC Valhalla,
we
got Demon Souls. Where does this...
Which Valhalla, by the way, is looking better than ever.
Yeah?
With the new trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. This is easily at the top. Like, I'm buying a PS5 on launch day so I can be able to play a superhero Insomniac Spider-Man game with Miles. And the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is, like, probably not exciting. It's the story.
Yeah.
I want to know what's going on. I want to know the gap between where we left Miles and Peter from the first game and where they're at now. And I think I also read somewhere on Twitter where it's a continuation of that.
Yes.
And it's going to lead into events of Spider-Man 2. So, like, it's still all connected. I'm just excited to see what that is. I'm excited to see what the villains are. Like, oh, man.
I think, so for me, like, the one cool thing that they talk about this story is Miles's power set is still unevolved. It's still like he's not going to be as smooth as Peter. And that's really cool for me because it shows that, yeah, like though they have for the most part similar character models or they're working with, same assets, they're still going in and really, touching up what needs to be touched up and making this game feel like its own, which I've seen from the videos, like how he swings is different. He's way more acrobatic in the air, and even
he's cocky.
Yeah, he's cocky.
Because he's the I think he's from an Insomniac writer. This was a tweet from somebody I glanced by and I read today, where it was fun writing Miles in comparison to Peter. Because unlike Peter, who's like the quiet kid, as we know of Peter Parker, Miles is more with it. He's up with the trends. Like he has the confidence to talk to girls, and so like you can see that confidence in him as he's swinging and doing all this stuff, even though he's not the best at it. Yeah, but he's confident in himself,
and that's the coolest thing, man. So like, the thing that I'm most excited for, I texted you this. I literally got emotional just thinking about it because I'm not I'm not a man. Let's put that right there, out there. I am a child, full of, through and through. I thought about when I saw one of his thwips with the new photo mode. Dude, I'm going to be able to reenact What's Up Danger scene from Into the Spider-Verse. Like that's gonna be the first thing I do when I get that suit, and I'm gonna probably sob man tears because that is my favorite movie of all time. Saved me, it lifted me up when I was in a really bad place. So like,
absolutely, yeah.
Ooh, that's what I'm so excited for. This game looks so good.
I just thought of something because I will also eventually try to replicate the What's Up Danger scene, but I wonder if they're going through all this trouble of having Spider-Cat actually attack enemies on finishers. What if in photo mode the cat's arms are out, just going wee?
Oh,
it's like it's having a great time as he's swinging around.
That's definitely a thing. Oh my god!
Or the cat's paws are out like it's about to flip, but nothing comes out because he's a cat.
Oh my god! That's that's the thing I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
Oh man. My last question for you, Kyle. I know, but we're running a little long. It's going to be a longer show. You said something kind of fucking outrageous. You said, and you stated, Jamie Foxx, his Electro, was good.
I liked it, yeah.
Okay, my question for you is...
Where do you get off? I loved how Electro came to be. I really loved that arc. I love Jamie Foxx in that role. I think it's cool that he's getting to come back.
Right.
I think from that movie, Jamie Foxx's Electro is not the problem with that movie.
I mean, I can agree to some extent because whoever played Harry,
Dane DeHaan.
God, never again, please, never again.
Yeah.
How much money do I need to do? God, that's the trick of the day. God, I hate that line so much. I hate his dumb face, his emo-like hair. I just want to punch him. I want to punch him so bad, Kyle. But you know what, though? With that rage subsiding, I do feel God in this Chili's tonight because Spider-Man 3 is filming. And rumor has it, Andrew Garfield, which was too old for the role, and what's his face? Tobey Maguire, also way too old for the role now when you look back at it, will be rumored in this new Spider-Man movie. And what's his name? Benjamin Cumberbund. He's in it. Playing
Cumberbatch. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is in it. We're gonna get a Spider-Verse live action adaptation of it.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
What if Miles from Spider-Verse shows up?
How? Like in a cartoon form? Oh shit! Wait, no, you're right. Crazier things
Right?
happen because there is. Oh fuck! Don't get me excited for things that
Also
can't happen.
I don't. The full title isn't a thing yet, right?
No, it's not.
It has to have home in it because
Yeah.
that's been the theme. What if it's just Spider-Man Homeboys and it's just him and his boys on the poster?
Hey there, MCU, it's your boy, Spider-Man here. Like, share, subscribe. No, God, no.
Oh my god! Now my mind is just running because I haven't really thought about it. Like I saw the news of the potential casting, but what if they went and just got everybody?
I mean, not everybody.
No, but what I'm saying is like all the villains too.
Oh, like
Willem
Doc
Dafoe.
Ock. Oh my God.
Doc Ock.
Willem Dafoe.
Electro.
Oh my.
Dane DeHaan for a split second and he gets booted real quick.
Please. Yeah.
What was his name? Venom.
No. No.
But what I'm just saying, what if they just bring them all out? And it's that kind of movie.
What like they put in what's his face? Who's playing Venom right now? Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah, even that abomination of a film.
He's got to be in there,
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
And Morbius, Jared Leto, he's probably going to be in there too.
No.
Probably is.
Please, no Jared. No, Jared Leto can sit on a shelf somewhere far, far away from civilization. That's how I feel about Jared Leto. All right. But listen, we got PlayStation news to talk about, and not Jared Leto's weird sex cult, which she came back in April during the COVID. And it was just like, this has been a thing.
What's going on?
Hey guys, I took the medicine. Chlamydia is healing right up. Wait, what's happening?
This comes from the blog. PS4 System Software Update 8.00 launching today. Our latest system software update for PlayStation 4 version 8.00 is launching today globally. This update includes changes to the existing party and messages features, new avatars, updated parental controls, and more. Following this update, party and messages will be more tightly linked together, and you will see changes to the UI. Both apps will now use the same groups of players for party voice chats and message exchanges, instead of having different groups set up across the two apps. So now you can start a party chat or send a message to the group you previously chatted with across PS4, as well as PS5 when it launches. We're expanding the collection of preset avatars for players to showcase on their profile. An array of new avatars from your favorite games will be available, including Bloodborne, Journey, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Last of Us Part 2, The Last of Us Remastered, Uncharted 4, Thief's End, and many more. We've added an option to mute all microphones in the quick menu, so you can easily mute your mics while gaming. Under parental controls, we're combining the communicating with other players and viewing content created by other players into one setting, the communication and user-generated content. This offers a simpler setting that's easier for parents to understand and apply to their children. In addition, children can send a request to their parents to use communications features in specific games. The two-step verification 2SV feature on PS4 will be enhanced to support third-party authenticator apps as an option during the activation flow and 2SV sign-in across PS4 mobile and web. The existing PS4 Remote Play app on mobile, iOS and Android, Windows PC, and Mac will change its name to PS Remote Play, and the option to connect to PS5 will be added. You'll need to sign in to PSN from your PS5 to be able to access the feature, so sit tight until PS5 launches this November.
Now,
Joe, am I asleep? I feel like I read that in a dream state. That's how bored that was.
yeah, man, I know. And listen, the internet sleuths of the world saw that there is, in this long, very boring explanation of what you can expect with the PlayStation 4 UI, people saw an option that, Sony would be recording your party chats, listening in on you, Big Brother style. PlayStation has come out with an update, so prepare, strap yourself in, drink some coffee, because I'm it's a PR release. Following this update, users are seeing a notification about party safety and voice chats in parties may be recorded. Voice chat recording for moderation is a feature that will be available when PlayStation 5 launches and will ensure users to record their voice chats on PlayStation 5 and submit them for moderation review. The pop-up you're seeing on PlayStation 4 right now is to let you know that you're participating in a chat with a PlayStation 5 user post-launch. They may submit those recordings to from their PS5 to SIE. Now, what this really means is, and boil it down for the brass tacks for the people that read a headline and didn't do any research, what this means is, so Twitter, what this means is if you're being cyberbullied, let's just say I'm bullying Kyle, you know, I'm like, hey, Kyle, you're dumb or whatever. Kyle doesn't like that. He's like, you crossed the line with me, buddy. I'm going to take this up with Shuhei himself. He could record that conversation of me verbally harassing him. And he can then send that to SIE, someone or audio, whatever the case may be, the FBI, who knows, will take that recording, listen to that harassment, and maybe punish me, the player. Now, that being said, this does have implications of, you know, of Sony saying, well, let's just monitor all voice, right? They have that capability. Does this scare you any which way? Because Twitter wants to know, Kyle.
I'm gonna be the weird one here. No.
Right.
Because I don't voice chat anyway. So it doesn't affect me. First world problems for me, typically. It doesn't bother me. I like what it is intended for.
Yeah.
I like that it's no longer a he said, she said situation. It's like, oh, you really didn't just call me a racial slur over voice chat? Let me record this, and I'm going to send it to SIE and have fun being banned because you don't deserve to play games.
Yeah.
You need to go and fix your attitude. Like that's
help
what I'm
so
hoping.
much on Xbox Live.
Exactly. So if that is how it's going to be intended to be used, and it is going to help out weed out those toxic people that should not be talking that way,
right?
I'm 100% okay for that.
And for people that saying, "Oh, well, they're monitoring my you know, my messages or my conversations,"
this thing right here already does that.
I mean,
cell phones.
Yes. Like if you have an Android device, you own no photo, you own no video that you put on your phone. That is just straight up fact. Google.
You ever go on
owns
Instagram
that.
after you talk about something and an ad pops up?
Instagram owns
Boom.
that picture. So there was a setting on Facebook or like an update that got everybody upset saying along the lines of, you don't own any of these pictures, we own them. Everybody was fine with that the day after, right? So when I take a look at this, the big picture is that we've already been here for a while, and so it's oddly I don't have a quote unquote problem with that. Also, understanding like World of Warcraft, Kyle, bringing it back, had a situation where terrorists were actually using the game's chat to like actually communicate with each other. So
wow.
Picture this, people that played World of Warcraft. Baron's chat, not just filled with Chuck Norris jokes, but actually trying to incite harm to people. And there was a crackdown. And what I understand from that day is that the government works very closely with like people like Blizzard, people like Xbox and PlayStation, because these chats are being used for that. So yes, Xbox has something very similar, and PlayStation does as well, where if the FBI feels like there's a terrorist group or like the Taliban or like the Proud Boys are using this shit, they're able to say, whoa, hey, let's look into this. And companies like Microsoft and Sony will gladly hand over that information because they don't want to, protect those types of people. So I totally get this, and I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything bad. Just it's if this is just a way of someone that like is liberally using the N-word or something and getting them out of there. If Lil Jimmy's gonna get his account banned because he's a racist, let Lil Jimmy get kicked out because he's racist. Who cares? Like, that's cool with me. So I know
Yeah.
I'm not going to use any type of language that's going to get me kicked out of a PSN chat or anything like that. So this is fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the real questions here, Kyle. All right, now that we know that PlayStation isn't spying on you, but if they were, Z-Child via Discord writes in, as the PS3 and PlayStation 4 got older, Sony provided different features to us through the software updates. I know it's really premature, but what unannounced feature would you like to see on PlayStation 5? What is a feature that you would like to see carried over from PS4 to PS5? Think about it. Think about it.
So carried over or just something unannounced?
Maybe unannounced. You could do unannounced.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I want them to. This is going to sound kind of stupid.
Okay.
But I think we both feel this, like hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of that extra step for TV and video.
Please, for the love
Just
of God.
have Netflix, have Twitch, have YouTube, Hulu, whatever, HBO Max. Just be part of the dashboard. Why make me go an extra step and then it loads so weirdly and then it automatically takes ones that you use a whole lot and shoves them to the side for these ones that they're trying to advertise. Like I went on and my Twitch app was no longer in that bar, but Pluto TV was. I think Pluto TV was across everyone's over the last week. I saw on it was a KFGD or PS I Love You this week where they were saying, I think Andy was saying it, like Pluto TV came out of nowhere and took over one of the apps that I use all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that is. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, I hate that app so very much. I remember back in the day, it used to be just like on the dashboard.
It's just in there with the games.
And now they made like this video hub. Hopefully with the PS5, I get why that hub's there. That's fine. Like make it an app where like, but make it so that I could reorganize it the way I want. Kind of like on Apple TV. That's what I use for all my stuff. Yeah. So make it so I could reorganize it and it's fast and simple and easy. That is, I'm right there with you. The one thing I was thinking before when you were saying this, there's something called like disable HDCP.
Oh, for streaming.
When you're streaming, because if you have a Netflix, you can't stream via like your video card, your capture card.
It's to stop people from like capturing footage of movies on Netflix or whatnot.
And what it really is at the end of the day, if and I'm a layman at this shit, but like it's really just disabling your HDMI throughput. You need like 2 throughputs. Just make it so that, listen, I'm not a tech genius. I'm not a tech wizard, okay? I'm not like a Tori over there who made a PlayStation 5 out of thin air. Just make it so that I can watch Netflix and then stream Ghost of Tsushima on Friday without me having to go through any barriers. Because to me, that is the biggest vice with PlayStation, is it's always a headache to stream something on. Whereas in Xbox players, take a bow, a round of applause for you guys. It's super easy. You just literally plug it in through the capture card and it just works. I want to plug my capture card into my PlayStation and it just working.
Yep.
That said, Kyle, I do have to say, and I don't know if I said this to you already, but I found out I wasn't using HDR correctly when setting up my PlayStation.
What does that even mean?
I didn't have it like set to on.
Oh my god!
Talking about not being a tech wizard, I was just like, oh, things look really colorful now.
They look really good now, don't they?
My goodness gracious. Ghost of Tsushima, chef's kiss. So again, I'm a big idiot. I think that's what we're uncovering today.
Beans in Kansas.
Beans in Kansas. Green19 on Twitter writes, what is one improvement from the PlayStation 4? Oh, okay. I confused the questions. What is one improvement from the PlayStation 4 you want implemented in PlayStation 5? Mine is incorporating a more pleasant sound when the PlayStation 5 is turned on. I still find the sound that the PlayStation makes to be a bit obnoxious. So
I get that.
Yeah. So my question to you, Kyle. You know, PlayStation 4 is all about, from what we've been talking about, improving on the predecessor. What is that one improvement system-wise that you want to see on your PlayStation 5 that the PlayStation 4 didn't do as well?
The store.
That's a literal thought I was thinking too.
I think that's the only thing. And like, also shout out, it didn't make it this week because there's so much stuff to talk about. But like, you can't buy PS3 games and Vita games anymore on the website.
Yeah.
You have to go strictly to that store on that console in order to buy things, which is not a big deal.
Yeah.
I think to us really. But man, that PS4 store needs work.
It is chugging.
It chugs in order to search for games. I don't like that system where you pick the tiles of letters.
It's a dial.
And you have to,
yeah.
It's like a rotary phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Finding like the PS Plus games sometimes is way too difficult and not on that front page where I feel like it should be on the front page. It's unneedingly like a maze.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, discovery sucks. Basic features just absolutely abysmal on the store. I do agree with you there. Even the search isn't great. Like that store needs an overhaul to the nth degree. And hopefully, I mean, like we're definitely going to see that. I know the Xbox store got improved last week, and everybody seems to like it, which is great because that store too. I feel like discovery is always the hardest thing to nail. I know everybody liked the Nintendo East shop, but then it got too crowded. So I would love to see on that store more curation. More editors picks of the week type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like new games that came out and you're seeing, indie and AAA predominantly shown. I want better discovery, especially, I mean, I think all the indie developers out there are preaching that. So that's what I would like to see.
There was a cool thing that sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I remember specifically when God of War came out, there was a section on the main thing of the store where it was like, here are some Cory Barlog picks of games that he loves. That would be super cool if that was a recurring thing.
Yeah.
Like have 1 month Shu has a list of 10 games that he loves that you can get on the store. Corey, like when God of War Ragnarok comes out, when Neil puts out his next game, or like have these creative directors from all these studios pick games that influence them that you could play on PlayStation. I think would be super, super cool.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Also, like better recommendations of like, hey, you like this game? Maybe there's something here for you. Like,
yeah.
I would like to see that. Also, sorry. The trailers just work instantly. That would be something I would like as well. Discovery, it's clunky in there, so I would love that to be fixed. So then everything's gravy with me and PlayStation,
Yeah.
With that, Kyle, it's time we get into Andy's snail mail. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
All right, great. Now, each and every week, you can send in your questions over to the Casa de Bad Bit Discord server, or you can send your questions in over to PS Trophy Room on Twitter, or you could pen a letter over to Andrew House. Ship it on over. Postage is on you, though, not on me. Don't blame me for the high postage. That's on you. I swim on over there, fly, whatever, dive, transdimensional travel over to Andrew House's house. I take his mail. This week we have not just one, not just two, not just three, not just four, but 5 pieces of Andrew House's mail and an eviction notice. So Andy, get on that.
Oh Andy, I'm sorry, man.
It's on him, not me. Nakachaka writes in, Ghost of Tsushima's multiplayer mode comes out this Friday, and I can't wait to play it this weekend. I can't wait to see you there on our stream. We'll be playing it together, 1 p.m. EST time on Friday, or maybe over the weekend too, because let's be honest, launch games of online service games, ooh, yikes. Anyway, so I have to ask, what's your most memorable multiplayer game? For me, it's Resident Evil 5 versus mode. We probably won 1 out of 20 matches, but I still had a blast with my friends. Kyle, you don't play online games much. But what is one...
I don't, but I have an answer to this.
Yes.
Because it's not an online game, but you have to have other people to complete it, and that's Rock Band.
Oh.
In college, getting together and going for that never-ending set list where it takes every song in the game and you have to play it from beginning to end in one playthrough without exiting the game, was some of the most fun we've ever had. And it is taxing on the body. We had to switch out singers because, like, you sing for 8 hours
Nobody
straight,
wanted to
it's going to
sing.
be an issue.
Nobody.
I didn't sing. I was drums and guitar and bass because I can't sing.
And everybody was just, but just put it up to your throat and just hum it.
At some point, my good friend from high school who went to college with me, Bobby, he was just like, talk singing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's time for clapping? He would just say that noise in order to hit those things that he needed.
Yeah.
But that is so much fun. Please, with the news that Rock Band is you can play on PS5 and Series X now, make new instruments for the love of God. I need new drums. I want to continue playing. Please. But yeah.
Yeah. For me, I have a lot. But one's definitely for the personal podcast on Patreon. That was very personal, but
I got you.
pretty cool.
Real talk.
For me, I think Battlefield 3 comes to mind first and foremost. That is a game that I got into. I played it on every platform and was good on it on every platform. Battlefield 3 is my jam. It is my favorite Battlefield. I remember getting so good that like we would stop trying and we would go tank hunting, which is like when you were the engineer class. And I think what was the other? No, I think engineer just gave ammo, but also C4. I forget. I think maybe one of us would be engineer, one person would be like the fighter who would give ammo and would restock our C4. So what we would do is we would go, quote unquote, tank hunting, where we'd get a bunch of C4 and we would just try to run up to tanks and just C4 them. That was so much fun to me. When it comes to like multiplayer video game, I mean, that is World of Warcraft. There's a lot of memories there. But Fortnite as well. There are just so many games that I love multiplayer in games, and that is something that always gets me back, and that's why I'm so pumped for Ghost of Tsushima. But for me, I think games like Battlefield have a huge and a very special place in my heart. Fortnite as well. There's just so many moments you're getting to catch up with your friends and have that those real talks, those real conversations, Yeah. So that's what I like. All right. Also, fine. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead 2 got me laid. It was really cool.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was.
I can't wait to hear that story on Real Talk Radio.
I know it was pretty nuts. But remember, listen, people, if you have a partner and maybe you're interested in them or whatever, let them win in the game. Great things happen. Take my word for it. Take 17-year-old Joe's word for it. Amazing things will work out for you. Like life-changing stuff. Like pretty crazy. Irish Joe on Twitter writes, and Earthy Cheese's mom did not like that answer. He's like, Earthy Cheese, you're grounded for listening to
You're
this
never playing that Left 4 Dead game.
Never, you hear me?
Not until there's a third one.
What's that? There's new DLC? Irish Joe on Twitter writes, seeing how big games are now, and where I think Cerny said the SSD can quickly find an object so you don't need to make as many when you're making games, do you think later on in the PlayStation 5 life, will games become smaller? Or because of 4K, do they just get bigger? Games will just get bigger.
Yeah, they'll just get bigger. I feel like the 4K part of it might not take as much space in the future because they're always trying to figure out how to make things smaller.
Yeah. I think, for the most part, you're going to see, as technology grows, information grows, you need bigger capacity memory. So, like, I was having a real conversation. I might upgrade my iPhone. And my brother goes, well, since 5G's around the corner, usually when those things happen, you need the bigger memory because you won't notice, but you will be downloading way more information than you think you are. You usually, I think it was like double or triple. So yeah, just because they took out some redundancies, I think it just means it's prolonged how big and massive these games are going to get. With that said, Sin Vendetta writes in on Twitter. One day, it's just a comment. One day, I'd love to see you guys do a live episode. That would be awesome. Kyle.
Joe.
Why don't we do live stuff, man?
That's a you question. I'm always down doing live. We do live episodes after big live reacts and whatnot.
Remember this episode?
It's more of a YouTube issue that we try to stream on YouTube Live and things just get messing up.
Honestly, it comes down to a few things. First, remember this episode? It took 4 tries for me to get an intro right. Jesus Christ. And also,
not even that, but then Mama Bad Bit listening to stuff on full volume.
Yeah, she's watching like a quinceañera live on something. To me, the reason why we don't do live is, technical difficulties always frustrate me greatly. Having the live element, that frustrates me, f's up with my anxiety because I'm running it. If I'm just doing, like, if I'm doing boom shows and, like, I'm not nervous. I'm like, whatever, it's fine. You can have hundreds of people. I think we broke like 1,000 or 2 the other day. That's cool. Sweet. Right? But, and I'm cool with it because if something breaks, that's not on me. That's on our friend Boom. I'm fine with it.
You're relaxed.
I'm relaxed. I'm like, hey, that's his problem. I'm a bad friend. I'll be with you emotionally, but, so for me, it's just like anxiety number 1, because when we do these shows, it is really just, I don't want to break that conversation by going into the live audience. So usually we're going live and then going all the way through. Maybe in the future, I know like StreamYard is a good tool. I know a lot of podcasters use that. Definitely in the future we will do it eventually, but like that stuff costs money. Patreon.com/batbit. We just spent a whole bunch of money doing really cool stuff. Next week it's gonna be nuts, but live, really, when it's momentous, we'll do a live show. If it's like a state of play, we'll do a live show. If it's if it's like a moment like PlayStation 5, when we talk about it, that'll probably be a live show. So I like that better because it makes the moment special. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And again, my anxiety.
Also didn't want to make that seem like I'm the dick. It's like, hey, I'll do it live. I don't care about your anxiety, Joe. Not at all. It's like, if Joe's not comfortable, Joe's not comfortable. I'm whatever.
Well, like if you were doing it, I was like, whatever, it's your show. And they like crash. I'm like, it's all right. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Josh Dykins. Yeah, Josh Dykins. Thank you. There was a huge. I looked into the white light that's shining out, and it. Yeah. Oh, I did it again. That's a good one. So I'm gonna try. This. Why do you think Cyberpunk 2077 does not yet have an official PlayStation 5 release date? All I can see is the PlayStation 4 version to pre-order. Am I missing something, or can you guys shed some light on this? Sure, Josh. Kind of like it's like, sure, Josh, I'll fill you in. No, sure, man. So the reason why it doesn't have a PlayStation 5 release date, this is a past gen game. Like, I know they said that there would be some little upgrades for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, but for the most part, this is going to be a PlayStation 4 game. So they were in production. They've been crunching on it. This is a current gen game. Eventually, there'll be an updated version. Yeah.
I feel like next year they're trying to hit the next gen version.
Trust me, Jason Schreier will be a dick on the internet about it. I guarantee you. My question for you, Kyle, is what is your because we talked about it a few weeks back of the crunch for Cyberpunk. 6-day work weeks until launch from October to November. Jason Schreier and a lot of other sources have kind of been butting heads about where the problem with crunch lies. And him going after people like Paris Lilly because he got a Cyberpunk chair, which I'll go after Paris too. Why did you get a cool chair and I didn't? I'm only kidding. You worked really hard for it. Like what are your thoughts on Jason Schreier after this whole big hoopla on crunch? Because a lot of people are like taking a step back going, okay, we need to have a more in-depth conversation about crunch other than it just being evil and bad because Jason said it. Like, where does the problem lie with you?
My problem with the Jason being like the forefront of this is not that he's not shedding a light on it, because I love that he does that. I love that it is a thing that is passionate to him. It's the way he goes about making sure that he proves that he's right.
Yeah.
I don't like the way he goes about it, where it's like taking screenshots of tweets and not tagging the people, not having
Be very petty.
very petty, not having a civil conversation about it. You're both professionals. You're all professionals. Yeah. Why aren't you acting like it? It's very much just like, you're not on my level, so I'm not going to treat you as an equal, almost.
Yeah, it was kind of like, hey, I'm a real journalist and you play pretend.
Like, yeah.
Which if Jason said that to me, that was like, fair. But like, Paris is...
I mean, sure, but shut up, man. Like,
don't hurt my feelings, dude. But like, Paris
your words are no different than my words when it comes to talking to games. It's just you have a bigger platform. You've been doing it for longer.
Yeah.
And you have inside sources to be able to talk about the inside things of it all.
Yeah.
Like, don't be all high and mighty like your shit don't sink, because it does. Everyone's shit sinks. Don't act like it doesn't.
Yeah, I think that situation was really shitty, and it sucks that this is the guy fighting for us. That's what I kind of took that situation from, because you know, the reason why there isn't a PlayStation 5 version not for a while is because they're crunching on this game, and the whole big hoopla for Cyberpunk was they weren't going to do that, and they had to do that. But they compensated their employees. It looks like they talked to their employees and had a vote, and it was plurality, and plurality ruled, and there you go. You know, they decided to crunch, and you know, I think Leanna Rupert got a lot of shit from Jason Schreier and a lot of people on his side, because she's just like, yeah, no, that's one side, but there is another side, and I'm not here to champion crunch, but what I am telling you is some of the things that are being kind of exaggerated. And from her sources, it wasn't as evil as Jason has tried to point out. And I think when we try to make these heavy-handed black-white issues, no shade of gray in between, there's a lot of people out there that bust their ass, work 40, 50, 60 plus hours a week going, well, I do it and I'm fine. And they just see you being petty on the internet, and they then side against you, even though like Jason's right at the end of the day. I don't like it. He pulled me away because I didn't like how he handled it. So I think we need more nuance in games, and that sucks because I think not our audience, but when it comes to the internet at large, we're such an immature, you know, community. Like, you know, it's insane. And I was having this talk with Luke just earlier, of just like, I wonder how other tech companies see us, of how we meme each other so hard over like the silliest stuff, whether it's backwards compatibility or like, you know, like Phil Spencer's, you know, superimposed face on Arnold Schwarzenegger, lame shit like that. Like how other industries look at us going, really? This is how you communicate with each other? Like that... It sucks.
It's a tad bit embarrassing.
It's embarrassing because we can't have those nuanced conversations. I would love to have a nuanced conversation about crunch culture and where the line actually is, because in all work, you're going to have to crunch every once in a while, right? So, like, I would love to have that nuanced conversation, and especially with someone that doesn't agree with me. But on the internet, you can't have that because, you know, it's the internet, it's Twitter, it's gaming Twitter, it's super mature, and I think Jason did not do himself any favors, and that was a deviation in a rant. Check that one off of the list. The most famous Seamus I've ever met in my entire life, and the spookiest one as well, because I got scared. He definitely tricked me today. He took a while writing his question because he was at work. Hopefully not crunching.
That heavy sigh you heard was me, because I looked ahead and he picked something that I've been afraid of since I was a kid.
Ooh, let's get into it. Let's get into Kyle's fears, everyone. What horror movie would you like to be made into a game? Take advantage of the PlayStation 5 features. I would pick Child's Play, aka the Chucky movies. Have 4 to 5 players play as kids who are being haunted by Chucky in a good guy doll factory. I've never seen Chucky, but I get you. I saw like a scene in what is it? A Blockbuster, I know, dating myself, in the 90s scared the shit out of me. Never wanted. Fuck dolls. They're creepy. I don't like them. That could be taken out of context. But you get what I'm saying. Scary dolls, don't want anything to do with it. Which has hundreds of dolls within the factory that Chucky can hide among, using 3D audio and the DualSense controller to hear or feel Chucky being close to. Kyle, you are worried.
No, Seamus, don't will that into existence. No, Chucky is horrifying. Yeah. It's a freaking murderous doll. Yeah. I hate it. I grew up. I still have a sister, but when she was younger, our rooms were right across or right next to each other, and I would walk by her door at night to go to bed, and she had a pile of dolls on the floor after I watched that movie. It scared the shit out of me. I can't watch those movies anymore. It stresses me out. I can't do it.
For me, yeah, like again, I walked into a Blockbuster, saw that, I was like, I'm out of here. Yeah, None of that. So like, I've always been a scaredy cat, but like spooky video games, I'm all for.
Yeah.
Famous pitched a great game, which is pretty much like Prey multiplayer with the things that morph into like objects, and you gotta like guess. It's kind of like the Gary's mod where like you have to guess what's actually like a real doll or not a Chucky doll.
It's a little bit like Dead by Daylight too, a little bit.
Yeah.
I like. I enjoy that game.
So I like that. I'll take that game. Honestly, Famous, you just pitch a better game I ever could.
But to take advantage of like the PS5 feature and stuff, I know it's still not a. It's not like an older horror franchise, but I feel like a Quiet Place game would be super cool.
Ooh.
All about that 3D audio. You have to lightly press on the triggers to move and grab things without making too much noise, and have that haptic feedback of like, oh, you're being too loud. Oh no, you need to hide, and have to be silent at all times. Like, isn't the controller also, can it sense like your heartbeat or whatnot? So like,
I think so.
That would be cool. I think a Quiet Place would lend itself well with those kind of features. There was already a Saw game, which apparently was not that bad on PS3.
Really? 'Cause I'm thinking,
Michael Myers is in Dead by Daylight.
Right.
There's a Friday the 13th game already.
Predators.
Yeah.
Alien.
Yeah, Alien Isolation is already.
It's already the best. That's the best horror movie. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Is there another one?
Cabin in the Woods would be cool.
Cabin in the Woods. Okay.
That's not really like full on spooky.
Yeah.
But that would lend itself to a really cool game.
Yeah. It seems like it's been tapped so many times. I really can't think of one. Just give me another Dead Space game. Give me Dead Space 1 and 2 remake.
Yeah.
EA, you cowards. Come on, when you have to lose. With all that said, though, that's been the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players. Kyle, is there anything you want to pimp out before you go, sir?
As always, I like to pimp out myself, Mr. K-Step, on Twitter and on PSN. You can find everything I do over at KindaNYC at KindaNYC.com, twitch.tv/KindaNYC, or at KindaNYC on Twitter. And just like on a overall gaming community note, if you've ever been harassed by a personality or whatnot and feel uncomfortable, please speak up. We believe you. We love you. We are so sorry that you went through that. If you don't know, just look up Achievement Hunter and Funhouse stuff. Those people are long gone, and the rest of the crew are amazing people, and they're strong people. We love you. I just want to give everyone a big hug. I can't imagine what you're going through, but like, we're happy you spoke up. We're happy that these people are getting the consequences that they deserve.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love you. That's it.
Yeah. No, great words. As someone who I don't know much of Achievement Hunter, truth be told, but I'm glad to see that there has been consequences for people's actions. And if you ever need to talk about anybody,
absolutely,
we're always here. Our DMs are always open. You know, we had the Casa de Bad bit. We server. We literally had a nice little powwow earlier today of everybody being thankful about this community. It's really all you amazing folks that make it happen, make it run. So if you ever need to talk we're all here. Our DMs are always open. Like ask or Jose Jimenez and I, we have a DM that we're really just talking about Euphoria. And like, so it could be simple stuff and fun stuff like that. And if you need someone to come to, we're always going to be here for you. Absolutely. So that said, with all that out of the way, everybody, you can follow me at Mr. Badbit over on Twitter. You can find this show, PS Trophy Room, on Twitter, at PS Trophy Room. You can find this podcast over at youtube.com/badbitgames. It's gonna be crazy. Next week's gonna be nuts. And you can find the show over at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your RSS feed service. You can find the Trophy Room there. Please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. 5-star review gets you into the running to win your first PS5 game on the house. If we get to 150, I'm throwing in Miles Morales as well. So you get 2 entries. So get us over to 150. Get that Spider Cat. Get that Spider Cat on the house. All right, y'all? And with all that said, and with all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you and keep playing PlayStation.